This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English. Welcome to Daily Flash. We got today's trends, tomorrow's talk with a brand new attitude, and of course, lots of fun planned today.
Yes, and Big Daddy James joining us at the Big Kids table. James
special.
Alexander, welcome.
We always come
Thank
up
you.
with stuff. You're going to be our info guy. You'll
Yes.
be able to help us out. But more importantly, the most important part of the show is you.
Yes.
And you know what? I have a great question of the day for you guys. Are
Okay.
You ready?
What's that?
Would you take part in an arranged marriage?
Jackson's the only one available to do that. Well,
I'm available
yeah.
too. Ladies, I'm
All
available.
right. There's a lot of cultures that do that.
Yeah, that's
I guess we want to hear the pros and cons of an arranged marriage, right?
Yes, yes. There's a good story out of India that I'll share with you once we get to this
cool.
All right.
topic.
So
Yeah.
if you want to comment on that question, I need you to go over to our socials at all social channels at TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I need you to go to our website, where you will see 219 stations that we air on and where to watch, and dailyflashshow.com.
All right, James. He's got his eye on what you are saying for today. Thanks for doing that, James.
Sound off. He's our social media manager, and we love to make you a part of the show. We also would love for you to sound off on this. One cruise line recently announced it is going kid-free.
Where? I'm booking now. Where?
In 2026 for a more peaceful environment. Miami-based Oceania Cruise Line operates 8 luxury ships and will now welcome guests 18 and older for new reservations. Now, all bookings made before January 7th of this year will be honored. However, many guests thought Oceania was adults only because there were so few kids on board. A ping pong table, they say, on their pool deck is about the extent of kid-friendly entertainment that they have. Now, this new change will help manage expectations. Adults-only cruises are the highest rated among travelers.
You know, Virgin, of course, does this, which they kind of led the way. And
Yes.
I've stayed at a Virgin hotel one time, and you know, and when you're in Vegas, I consider every hotel in Vegas an adult's hotel.
adult's
Right, right.
It's weird seeing kids. Unless
Yeah.
I think that's why they built like Circus and that sort. Anyway, but for a cruise line, I know this will open up to more and more people want to do that because that's one thing that they don't want to deal with. They want a relaxation, and I get it. You have kids. I've got 5 kids myself. I get it.
Right.
But when you go on a cruise, you want to get away from all that.
Yes, and some cruises like Disney, for instance, they'll have adults-only areas, but very few cruises actually have an adults-only policy. Virgin, as you mentioned, features Virgin Voyages cruise line, and most Viking cruises are adults-only. And Carnival is starting something called SEA, which is, sea entertainment for adults only.
Oh, wow.
Which they need to do an overhaul. Carnival. They've had
Yeah.
so much bad press. Am I right on that?
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
All the fights.
Yes.
You know, and I say, and I go back, and I think Disney is incredible on their cruises.
Yeah.
I've been on many. I think those are kids-only cruises that the adults have to kind of like take on.
Agreed.
There's great restaurants here by all means, and
Yes.
there are places to be able to go on. But one of the things that I loved about Disney was I could drop my kids off, and I didn't have to worry about them all day. They give me a
You mean your
pager.
actual children,
It's
right?
a very expensive
My
daycare.
kids, yes.
It's a very expensive daycare, but I want to say
Okay,
Virgin.
that's good. You're right.
It is what it is. But Virgin, also known as the villages at sea, you know, when you have those, when you have
Explain what the villages
Yeah, explain
is.
the villages, James.
All right, so the
Retirement
villages
cruise.
is a very large and it's ever-growing retirement community here in Florida. They span across, I want to say 4 counties now.
4 counties.
4 different counties. Everything happens in the villages. You can just Google it. I'm going to stop there.
There's loofahs involved on golf carts.
a
They
lot
give
of
you
that's
a
exaggerated,
certain,
yeah.
I agree. It does
'Cause
happen.
I'll tell you why, because I go to the villages about once
you
a
know.
month because my
Yeah.
in-laws live over there. But everything else about what you're saying is now. Okay, you know it's interesting you say that because now the villages are actually building. Where right now it's a 55 plus
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
building families because they know that
Yes.
hey. grandma's going to need to retire. We have a family here. She could stay in like a mother-in-law suite or something like that, a grandma's suite. Or she could live on the other side of town where the 55 only is, and they can go visit it. You should see their high schools in this place.
Oh yeah, nice.
You saw it?
Very nice, yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's almost kind of like, I think it's better than what Disney has set up with Celebration. Remember, like it was supposed to be like a community thing. That's what they do.
Right, very true.
Multi-generational households are a big thing now.
You're right. Yes.
So I mean, it just makes sense. But back to it. As a parent,
Yeah.
I enjoy having my own space, especially at cruises. But it is what it is. I think this is the time where young adults are pushing back having kids anyway. So having adults on the cruise just makes sense.
Let me make a correction when I say Carnival is adding C. It's sailings exclusively for adults.
Okay.
SEA, sailings
exclusively
exclusively for adults.
Okay,
So as you mentioned, Carnival's been in the hot seat in the last year, so they are looking for new angles. But I think it's a great marketing tool, and we've talked about this on the show before. How about an airline coming out and saying adults only? Would that ever happen?
I almost feel like Virgin does that somewhat because they're known as that. Now they'll accept kids by all means, but you kind of think of it. I think of it as an adult.
It is.
Yeah.
Technically it is.
Right. And Richard Branson, he realized that. He realized it was a niche, and that is what he went after. So I completely appreciate it. If we can't get that, and you've heard me say it, a section. A section for kids. This month, later on this month, Southwest is changing over to assigned seating.
Yes.
So we'll see how that changes because flying out of Orlando, y'all know the first 10 rows are kids.
Out and in.
Sometimes. Out is worse because they got all the crap that they
That is true. How do you guys feel about the kids with the iPads and the volume at full blast and not using the earphones or the headphones?
That should be part of the announcement. Because I'll tell you what, if I can't hear the attendant tell me that we're about to go down, but I'll tell them, that's what I'll say.
But as a parent, sometimes you become deaf. Like, just sit there.
You're deaf to your own kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, as long as they're not doing anything, running around, like, just I need to relax right now.
Do you respond to the stink eye? Do you ever get the person that kind of looks...
Gives
you that.
Well, I'm the stink
that
guy
guy
now, but I've always felt like, man, you're being loud, and it bothers me when I'm constantly going 1, 2, 3, 4 when my kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're counting.
I lost Sawyer one time in New Orleans one time.
You did?
Yes, because I didn't.
On Bourbon Street.
It wasn't Bourbon Street. It was down by the river and everything. And but so now I stand back and I'm going 1, 2, 3, and I put them all in the same clothes.
Like Home Alone, you want to make sure that Kevin's in the car.
But with that, I think I'm a little bit more hyper conscious as far as my kids go, where they're at. But I think that we, as adults, I'm certain I did it. I tuned out my kid especially when they were much younger, and they're screaming, hollering. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, it's not that bad. It really is that bad.
Well, this happened to me at a restaurant. I was at a breakfast place having a wonderful time with family and friends, and there was a couple with their 3 kids. These kids, I kid you not, running wild around the restaurant, screaming, yelling, and the parents just sat there eating and again, totally tuned their kids out. Their kids were running in front of the door to the kitchen, and I'm thinking, one of these kids is going to get trampled on, and then the parent's going to sue the restaurant because the kid got trampled on. And people were giving the couple the stink eye, and I kid you not, they didn't care.
All right, and we've all seen, when we go to Disney, tell me what you think about this. When you see them on the leashes.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Visually, it's not bad. Visually, it's bad, but it makes a lot of sense, man.
Yes, you're right.
Right?
I saw a parent doing that the other day, and I'm like...
That is truly tuning out, though.
Right,
but that's truly tuning out, though. I know where my kid is.
Oh boy, good one. Hey, I don't subscribe to it because I think that's a little helicopter parenting or tethered parenting, if you will. I get it though, especially after when my son got lost one time. You kind of want that. We never tried the leashes, but it makes sense. I get it. I think differently now after I hear stories like that or see stories like that, kids running around all the time. And it sounds like we're kid haters. That is not the case at all. It's just that these cruises cost thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And I know you're trying to have a great time, but let's remember, maybe I saved this just as long as maybe somebody else has.
Yeah, and the last thing you want is to be stuck next to a screaming kid. And
when you're trying to relax.
When you're trying to relax. And for adults who want to try and take a vacation, yes, bring your kids, but you also probably want a little bit of downtime and relaxing time, which I think is why Disney cruises are so great, because you can leave your kids in a safe spot and go do your own thing and know that they're okay and they're on the cruise
If
ship.
you want to take a kid on Disney's the way,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
100%.
is the way.
No
100
question.
times. All right.
Yeah.
How do they get a hold of us, sweet baby?
Hey, they go to all of our socials.
Yep.
And you can go to our website at dailyflashshow.com. So just leave a comment, like and subscribe, everybody. I want to talk to you.
He gets very lonely. That's
Yes,
why
he
we
does.
brought him up
Lonely.
here and we took him from Alabama.
And we want to know what you think about adults-only cruises, adults-only flights. What is your experience?
All right. We are going to help you with your fitness goals, of course, staying healthy.
Yes.
We've got some Help My Home.
Help My Home. We've got some
yeah.
great advice for you if you've got a new kitchen remodel in the works.
Later on, streaming for the weekend. We'll tell you
Yes.
what you need to watch on the tube. But first, here is our brain flash question du jour. What animal has 3 hearts? We got the answer to that, plus more of today's talk, tomorrow's trends, right here on Daily Flash. You go anywhere, you miss out. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. Let's see if you got today's brain flash question correct. Here it is again. What animal has 3 hearts? Wow, you would think maybe the Tin Man, but that's not an animal. He's got a bunch of arms, I believe, right? It is an octopus. There you go. An octopus has 3 different hearts. That's why they
Okay.
care so much. Very smart animals. All right, welcome back to Daily Flash. Time for some Healthcare 911. I'm Mitch English, and today's Healthcare 911. Each new year, viral fitness trends push people to work out harder, faster, and sometimes painful results, for sure. It's called the fitness frenzy fallout. And joining us now with tips on how you can actually meet your fitness goals without injury is Dr. Andrew Carbone of Orlando Health. Hi, doctor. Welcome. All right, listen, as the former team physician for the world champion LA Dodgers, who is fitness frenzy fallout, and what is it, and why does it spike every January?
Yeah, so every January we see a spike in really preventable type injuries in our office here at Orlando Health. And the goal this year is to try and prevent that by getting out ahead of it and kind of talking about proper exercise technique and form. And so we call that preventable set of injuries the fitness frenzy fallout.
All right, Doc. So how are these social media fitness challenges in actually comparison to cultural things contributing to these preventable injuries?
So I think social media kind of influences, especially our younger generation, just because it really does emphasize kind of dramatic transformations and, very intense, high intensity workouts. But it really does lack a lot of the context that, behind those workouts. And a lot of the professional athletes or maybe fitness trainers who have spent their whole life kind of perfecting techniques and workouts, they're going online and they're showing videos of themselves, but what they're missing is sort of the fundamental strength, the core strength, lower back strength that allows them to kind of do those workouts and the conditioning. And so seeing that and then thinking that you can go and maybe replicate that at the gym is something that's kind of dangerous for people, especially around this time of year where we're trying to make New Year's resolutions.
And what are you seeing as the most common injuries that you see when people start these new workout routines?
I think anytime you're trying to do a 30-day challenge or something where it's a short-term dramatic transformation, definitely a big red flag. Something where you're trying to do too much too quickly, you're trying to replicate maybe some influencer or somebody online, those are going to be a problem. That's really what I see mostly, and that ends up people, they end up getting sidelined, and they end up in my office here and with overuse type injuries.
How can people start exercising safely without for sure getting sidelined with an injury?
The best way to really build a fitness routine is to start small and make lifestyle changes. Just going to the gym and even like walking on a treadmill for a day or two a week, just getting into that habit of doing that is going to be a huge help. Once you get there, you're going to be motivated to start doing, additional stuff, but just changing your lifestyle 1 or 2 days a week, just so you don't burn out. And then incorporating rest in between, exercise days to allow us to kind of heal is very helpful. One of the issues with going, 5-6 days a week, very high intensity, is that initially you burn out. You don't want to go anymore. You get to the gym, and after you've done a couple workouts, all of a sudden you're tired and you're groggy. And we want to avoid that. We want to have a sustained kind of lifestyle change.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks so much, Dr. Carbone. If you want more information on New Year's Fitness Frenzy, head to our website. It's dailyflashshow.com, or you can go to orlandohealth.com.
February is Heart Health Month, and staying heart healthy isn't just important for the people, it also matters for our pets too. Joining us today is veterinarian experts Dr. Ashley Sapphire and Dr. Sarah Clay Bell. So, why is it important to talk about heart health in cats?
Well, just like in people, cats can also develop heart disease, and a lot of times they don't have obvious signs. In fact, cats are really good at hiding illness, and so sometimes their signs are so vague they can be really easily missed. And so awareness is really important to remind everybody that cats need to also have routine veterinary exams to look for signs of heart disease so we can catch it early.
Tell me, what is HCM?
Feline hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM, is the most common heart disease that we see in cats. It leads to a thickening of the heart muscle, which makes it difficult for the heart to fill and pump blood out to the rest of the body appropriately. The hard part for cats is that they often have no signs, and so it can go undetected for a long time, leading to potentially things like congestive heart failure, clot formation, abnormal heart rhythms, or even sudden death. And it does affect about 1 in 7 cats.
And how can pet parents tell if their cat actually has HCM?
Well, unlike dogs, cats don't typically cough when they have heart disease or show outward signs when their heart is in trouble. I mean, sometimes we might notice some changes in breathing when they're at rest, or they might hide more, but for the most part, cats are really good at continuing on with normal activities. They might eat, drink, play, and carry on like normal. And so it really stresses the importance of those physical exams where a veterinarian can listen for a heart murmur or an arrhythmia and perform screening blood work or screening blood pressure checks to try to catch signs of disease early.
Are some cats more at risk than others?
Yeah, so there are some breeds of cats, like Maine Coons and Ragdolls, that have a genetic predisposition, but all cats are at risk, and so it's important that every cat gets screened, not just the purebred cats or mixed breed cats.
Where could folks go if they want to find out more information?
The viewers can visit heartstrongfamilies.com for more information about a new management option, which is a delayed release tablet called Felicin CA1 that's administered once weekly for the management of HCM.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll make sure we post this information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
We got more Flash coming up around the corner. We don't want you to go anywhere.
Nope.
Today's trends, tomorrow's trends as well. Today's talk. How about that?
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson along with Mitch English. An Emmy-nominated composer, best known for his work on Nickelodeon, was killed in a car crash in California recently. Wow. 63-year-old Guy Moon's music was featured on hit kid shows like The Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, and SpongeBob SquarePants. He also composed popular songs including Bartmania and Shiny Teeth. Moon has credits in over 70 productions across 4 decades in film, TV shows, and animation. Moon was also a producer on The Black Knight and Dr. Doolittle too.
That's sad to hear about that.
Yeah.
You know, music plays such a huge part in any film. I know that Mark Mothersbaugh, who used to be with Devo,
yes.
that's all he does now is movie soundtracks. I mean, he's on like all the most popular ones.
And I think in some of the more important movies, Quentin Tarantino will say this, that the music plays another character in the entire movie.
Sure, yeah. That's how important it is, and sad to hear that for him passing. Moving on to Matt Damon. He's actually getting a lot of attention for his new physique. He's looking good, ladies. Damon says he has a new strict diet and exercise routine. It was actually necessary to prepare for his role in Christopher Nolan's new movie, The Odyssey. Damon talked about going gluten-free with the Kelsey brothers on a recent podcast. The Oscar winner said he went from carrying around 200 pounds to a fighting 167. Damon says that he hasn't actually been this slim since high school. Way to go, Matt. And as far as that diet plans, he's going to stick with it. He said that he even found a gluten-free beer. Yes, they're out there. The Odyssey, starring Matt Damon. You can check that out in theaters in July. Great actor, great director. This is probably going to be a really good good show.
Yeah, he looks good. I think he's one of those actors that can change. He's very chameleon-like with his weight, much like Russell Crowe. Like they can slim down, they can gain weight. They have no. It doesn't seem like they have a struggle when it comes to making that change for a
Think
role.
of Matthew McConaughey and then the Dallas Buyers Club. How much he was dedicated for that role, lost all that weight, and then now he, hunky self is back.
And Christian Bale is
Christian
another
Bale
one.
is a perfect one.
Yeah.
People that really get into it. And granted, you got people all around you 24 hours a day, plus probably a live-in trainer, which is great, but they don't have a short amount of time to do it. So it makes people like me going, how am I ever going to look like this? It's going to take forever.
They have personal chefs and they have personal trainers, and it's sort of like they can keep them on track, whereas you and I have to sort of find our own motivation. Choppelganger is the latest Gen Z phrase to dominate conversations, but what the heck does this special combo mean, okay? It's inspired by the word doppelganger, which means someone who looks exactly like another person. However, chopped is the new slang for ugly. So if someone refers to you or someone else as a choppelganger, it's referring to an uglier version of yourself. Cringe, game changer, era, dropped, IYKYK.
If you know, you know.
Sorry, not sorry. Skibbity, 100% utilize and period are all words that Lake Superior State University included on its annual banished words list. Was 6-7 on this list?
Please, I wish it was. Oh, guess what I did when I was out in Vegas?
What'd you do?
Went to In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
And by chance, we got there. My number was 52. We waited to see, and they did. They jumped all the way. They didn't do 67 or 69. So they went all the way. I don't even think they did 68. I think they jumped all the way to 70. So I think 68 got knocked out because of the 6-7 stuff. So that's mean, man. So if you call if somebody says your choppelganger is Steve Buscemi, are they saying
that this gal in the video, she says her choppelganger is Mick Jagger. And she's like, please, if you think someone has a choppelganger, keep it to your darn self.
I get it. So it's kind of humorous. It's not like if it's...
Yes and no. I think it can be kind of insulting, too.
People were saying I look like B. Arthur, and I have no idea. Moving forward. All right, as we jump into what's going on, saving our planet.
Yes, we here at Daily Flash want to take care of you, but we also want to make sure that we take care of the world.
And saving our planet is what that is all about. So don't worry, we're not going to be hugging trees or chaining ourselves to stop signs. We're just going to show you some of the simple things out there that keeps Mother Nature in mind.
Yeah, I love this one. Here's a sustainability story that tastes pretty darn good. According to National Geographic, eco-conscious cocktail bars are popping up around the world, and they're rethinking everything that goes into your glass. These bars focus on a garden-to-glass approach, growing their own herbs, using local ingredients, cutting back on imported spirits, and reducing waste. Instead of tossing citrus peels and leftovers, many bars turn them into syrups, garnishes, maybe infusions, squeezing every last drop out of what they use. National Geographic reports that this movement isn't about sacrificing flavor. Instead, it's about smarter sourcing, less shipping, lower carbon footprint without killing the fun. And it turns out customers actually love knowing their cocktail did not travel very far. So turns out saving the planet doesn't always look serious. Sometimes it looks like a really well-made drink.
Wouldn't you want something that's kind of conducive to the area, or indigenous to the area, say keeping it close by? Love that. Here's an interesting twist in the climate conversation. According to a new opinion piece from the Telegraph, some people say the way environmental issues are talked about may actually be turning them off from going green. The argument is that sustainability messages feel judgmental or extreme. It can push people away instead of pulling them in. Instead, inspire change sometimes just it creates resistance among people who otherwise would be open to small practical steps like the one Jackson just got. So that's why we're going to do that. That's our Saving Our Planet. If you have some ideas that you can as well, we'd love to hear from you. Head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. We got more coming up right after this.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do a darn thing right here, let's check in with our stations across the nation. James Alexander, who is watching us and where?
Well, 219 great stations across this great country of ours, and including the American Forces Network, is where you can see us. If you really want to find out where you can watch us, go to our website at dailyflashshow.com and click on where to watch. And our local friends today are from one of my favorite cities.
Yeah, where's that?
WCGCB TV in Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah. I love Savannah.
Now, did you know that Savannah is one of the most haunted cities
Yes, I
in
do,
the
actually.
U.S.?
Yes.
All right, and I want to mention this, that they have an open container law where you can walk around.
Yeah, no,
With your beverages.
that is actually
Adult
a big deal.
beverages.
Adult beverage.
Yes.
Because of St. Patrick's Day. It's
Yes,
huge there, and
yes.
also military bases nearby, and so they love that. It's a gorgeous town.
It is.
So
much
Forrest Gump.
history.
Forrest Gump, when he sat on the bench, that was
Yeah.
Savannah, Georgia.
Did you know that in Savannah, there's a battlefield, which was a pivotal battle for the War of Independence that allowed Haitian French troops to save the colonists from being wiped out by the British Redcoats.
Really?
Had they won that battle, there would be no America.
Oh my
A lot of
gosh.
people don't know. Walk on that battle.
right.
In Savannah.
So in Savannah.
I stayed, and if you go there, there's hotels, of course, but stay at a bed and breakfast because
Yes.
they turn like the carriage houses into like these beautiful B&Bs, and they're right downtown. You can walk down, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous town.
And
here.
the city planning in Savannah is remarkable,
It
and they
is,
will
right.
teach you that on those trolley
It's
tours that you can take, and make sure you
square.
take one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, much
First
like
planned city in America.
planned.
Yep,
Planned.
first planned city.
Their parents said, they went into a gas station and said, "No, honey, we're planning this out."
Not that kind of planning.
Not at all. All right. One thing is great. I got to do a whole story on her name, just Paula Dean.
Paula Dean.
Oh, yeah.
There,
Yeah.
she's in
I
Savannah.
ate there.
And
Yeah.
great. And this is before she got
Yeah.
really famous. And so I was talking to her and how she started with just selling bread and stuff like that. Best food, and she sat there and made it for us. And took us in her kitchen. It was
I'm
great. Like, how
jealous
many
now.
people get to do that, right?
No, very few.
So, and I bring that up because great food is great food. The way you eat it, though, is pretty important, wouldn't you say? The way you
Yes.
consume. There's a lady now on TLC, My Strange Addiction. For the past 5 years, she doesn't. She has meals. She doesn't eat them. She doesn't chew them. Look at this. She actually, does something different. So here she is right here. She's on TLC. Basically, she snorts her food. And she's making avocado toast here. She's been doing this for the past 5 years. She said it started off as a dare back in college, but for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all of it gets blended up and inhaled through her nose. Everything from steak, eggs,
No.
guacamole. She says it helps her avoid overeating and choking.
Oh my God.
Now,
She's
okay, say it again. What'd you say again?
She's single. And
She is single. And
Yeah.
on this episode, she goes on a date, right, with a guy who doesn't know she's a food snorter.
A food snorter.
So she gets to the restaurant, and the guy's
Oh, that is atrocious.
right, and the guy's all like, "Hey, all right, what do you want to eat?" And she goes, "Well, hey, first off, can you blend all your food?" And the lady's like, "No."
No.
She goes, "Oh, I guess I'll just have a shake or whatever." Sits down, right up the nose.
What's the guy's reaction?
Well, they're not dating anymore. They decided to be friends. That didn't go any further. I bring this up because, we do all these. I think she
Wow.
shows her working out. She says it helps her from overeating. It's her way of controlling her intake. It's like, okay, if you're making a smoothie, why can't you just
Sip it.
Sip it as everybody else does. Doctors are saying this is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Up your nose, you're going to get inflammation, obviously.
Infections?
Infections. Things can get stuck in there as well.
Oh.
Her doctor keeps on telling her, drinks her water this way, too.
Oh my gosh.
So
I can't.
sometimes when you think of these crazy concoctions, is it just as crazy as how people put foods together? It should never be food together.
Not snorting it up their nose.
Don't do this at home, y'all.
Oh my God.
Help My Home's coming up. We got some good stuff to make your place a little bit better, plus streaming for the weekend.
Yep, and our relationship refresh. Arranged marriages, are they a do or a don't? Why they're trending right now. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Hey, it's time for us to help your home.
Yeah, if you are in need of a practical home improvement tip, boy, we have got you covered.
Indeed. Maybe you're looking to just refresh your kitchen with a new stove, but what about that old range hood? Well, here's our home improvement guy, Gator. He's got a great how-to. Check this out, y'all.
I'm going to change out this range hood in one of my rentals. It's very DIY. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, this is your standard 30-inch range hood. This has been in here a little over 20 years. I'm actually putting a new stove in here. So I'm going to change the range hood to this nice new range hood to match the stove. Now, this one was about $200 because it vents out of the ceiling. If you've got a range hood that vents out the front, they're about $100. The first thing you want to do, turn the power off to this range hood. What you want to do is look underneath here. You'll see this little metal box here. You could be in different places. There's a little screw right here. You're going to want to take this out. The next thing you want to do is just pull your wiring down like this and unhook these wires. Just like this. You got a ground wire there. Take that loose. After you get your wires loose, there's just a couple screws, 4 of them actually, that hold this up to the cabinet right here. You just remove these screws and this whole thing will come down. Now with all the screws removed, you just kind of pull on it a little bit and it's hooked to this vent right here. Just like this. You can see how dirty it is. You look up in here, it's got some tape right here that's taping this vent. Just kind of pull this tape back. It'll loosen up just like this. Pull it right on out. So if you have a top vent like I do that vents out the ceiling, you're going to need to attach this little vent up here that comes with it. If you have a round vent, you can pop this piece out. You got a square vent, you pop this little piece out right here. Kind of looks like this. Pop that out and you just screw this on with the supplied screws. Next thing I want to do is find a place to put the wire through. So I'm going to pop this little piece out here with my screwdriver. Just like this. And that's where the electrical wire will go through. Now, once you get it up in here, you're going to have to attach this vent right here to this piece. Now, right above here, I just removed this little piece of trim board right here. And then I can just tape it together right there when I get it up, put this back up, and you're done. Just kind of push this up here. I'm holding it with my arm. That piece is hooked up to the vent. Now I just take my screws and screw this one up. Go ahead and hook your wires up, white to white, black to black, ground. Install your cover plate. Get your vent sealed back up, put your little trim piece back on. Turn your breaker on. Enjoy your new vent. All right, then. Next!
All right, here are 10 quick tips to update your home for 2026.
Number 1, whenever you're choosing the paint for your house, you always want to go for eggshell, especially if you have kids or pets. It's easier to wipe off. It looks the same as flat and it will save you a ton of headache. Number 2, whenever you're hanging wall decor, you want to hang it about 4 to 6 inches above that piece of furniture. Number 3, if you want that luxe high-end hotel look, you need to double stuff your duvets. What I mean by that is you want to put 2 duvet inserts into a duvet cover. It gives you a fluffy cloud-like look that you will instantly crave every night. Number 4, because I'm a clean freak, you need an air purifier, especially if you have pets. It is something that will completely transform your house and it really helps to cut down on that dog smell. Number 5, if you're someone that loves gallery walls and you want to incorporate a family gallery wall, you need to include matted frames. It's the easiest way to make it look more custom and high-end. Number 6, if you have a small area or a small room in your house, consider adding a mirror. It is an optical illusion that actually works and makes that room feel bigger instantly. Which brings me to number 7, if you want those ceilings to feel taller, floor-to-ceiling curtains always. It is the easiest way to make any room look more expensive in the most affordable way. Go for pinch pleat and hang them about 8 to 12 inches above the window frame. Number 8, if you are ever in between rug sizes, it's always go big or go home. And when you can, buy the biggest size possible for your space. It really gives you that luxe high-end look. Which brings me to number 9. You need an area rug in every room in your house, from the entryway to a hallway, living room, bedroom. They all need an area rug. They are considered the foundation in home decor. Number 10, one of my favorite topics, lighting. It is considered the jewelry of the home and you want to incorporate it everywhere. Over incorporate it if you're asking me. Lamps, sconces, wherever you can, turn off those overhead lights, invest in good lighting. It really does transform the space and make it look so chic.
Good lighting is key. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Well, one airline is encouraging passengers to take home more than just memories. Here's how Saudia is actually turning the act of checking luggage at the airport into a storytelling moment with a new initiative called Let It Fly.
So when we travel, we always come back with more than we expected. And with Let It Fly from Saudia, we came up with a simple solution. You buy Saudi cultural items and you get stickers. They're all designed by local and global artists, all inspired by Saudi. They look great on your bag, but they do more than that. So once they're on, those stickers turn into extra baggage allowance. And they give passengers more freedom to bring things back with them.
All right, here's how it works. Travelers who purchase selected cultural items receive collectible stickers, with each sticker adding extra baggage allowance to their journey. Pretty cool. The initiative encourages visitors to bring home cultural pieces without the worry of luggage limits. The result is a practical and meaningful way for travelers to support local artists. As global travel continues to grow, Let It Fly taps into the desire for people to connect with the places that they visit. The program supports locally made items that reflect Saudi Arabia's diverse creative landscape. Travelers are encouraged to share the cultural finds on social media using the hashtag Saudia Let It Fly, with exclusive stickers available at select airports. Now, if you want more information on this cool project, head to saudia.com.
Okay, so for centuries, arranged marriages were the norm in many cultures, but in today's swipe right world, could they be making a comeback? Take a look.
So what's your take?
We should bring back arranged marriages.
Bring back arranged marriages?
Kareem.
100% agree. Based on the data.
Slay.
Divorce rates are up.
Correct.
And everyone's marrying for love or money.
Which is wrong. Oh.
It's haram.
Dating is exhausting.
100%
We are
agree.
fatigued. There's too many options, too many people, too many choices. We're overwhelmed.
The biggest problem in dating right now is the paradox of choice.
Exactly.
It's like you walk into a Costco and there's so many options.
Right.
That you leave with all of them.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Arranged marriages, could it be the future?
Okay, I'm going to go this way. Okay, so when you look for a mate, you go, all right, I need somebody that's going to be going to help me financially. You know, is going to be part of it, right? And, you know, like it's going to be there for me.
Transaction.
It really is.
Yeah.
It comes down to it. That's what the point I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
And back in the day, that's all it was too.
Yeah.
They would go, well, we need some cows, so we just, you know, we'll
It
pawn
is
up.
true, right?
Yeah, that's what they.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right, I got it.
like a 5-cow woman was like she was hot.
She was
right?
expensive.
Because it's, I can't think of the word, but you know, it's sort of like the hope chest. It's what you're bringing to the marriage that gives you the value for your suitor.
Right. For me, I honestly, I would do it. I would do it just to see what my parents picked. Tell me who my parents
Actually, it would be
picked.
fun, wouldn't it?
But you know, honestly, you have to be open to something like that,
Yeah,
just
yeah, it's
because. You know, you have all these expectations. Then you're coming to somebody you don't know. I just need her to look good.
Dining at one cruise line just got better. Check it out.
Discover genuine Italian flavors on your next vacation.
The pizza served at Alfredo's Pizzeria on board the Sun and Star Princess recently earned the Ospitalità Italiana certification. This is the highest honor for authentic Italian cuisine. You'll find some of my pizzas like the Calitalia, hot soppressata, and pesto veggie at the restaurant.
Visit princess.com to learn how you can enjoy the only authentic Italian pizza at sea while exploring the world with Princess Cruises.
Hey, if you're looking for love, dating apps and social media platforms actually may be a good way to meet people, but you need to be aware of some scammers. Here's more.
So some of the warning signs that we like to share are, so you're in a new relationship and the person doesn't want to meet with you. That's one of those keys that we like to talk about. So they have excuse after excuse, some other reason. So they're traveling a lot, all these reasons why they can't meet with you. So that is a huge red flag that we like to share when we talk about romance scams and why they're so concerning. So a second is you're in a relationship, you're in this great new romance, and a couple weeks in, your new partner starts to talk about a great investment, talk about some sort of special opportunity that they have. And it's only going to be for you, again, a person that you just met, brand new relationship. So those are a couple of the signs that we see, those warning signs. Check with your state securities regulator. Talk to them about a particular investment you're seeing, a particular person. You know, just be on guard. You're on a new relationship. You don't know who's on the other side of that screen or that app that you're on. So you just want to make sure that you're doing everything on your end to protect yourself.
And now some great products to help you get ready for that special day this weekend. Check it out.
Pamper yourself this Valentine's Day.
Treat your scalp to Native Scalp Detox Shampoo for a deep cleanse and to remove buildup with salicylic acid, or Head & Shoulders Shea Butter Shampoo to combat dryness. The Bare Itchy Scalp Serum provides cooling relief without ruining your style. For skincare, the upgraded Olay Regenerist Micro Sculpting Cream strengthens cell bonds with triple collagen peptide and hydrates for tighter, firmer skin. While Secret Clinical features 3 times sweat protection and now contains hyaluronic acid.
Scan the QR code to shop these products.
February is Heart Health Month, and heart disease is still the leading cause of death in the U.S. Here's the warning signs to protect your heart.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S., yet many of those affected have no idea until it's too late. The good news, experts say there are things you can do to safeguard your heart. They note a good place to start is knowing your risk factors, both ones you're born with and the ones connected to daily lifestyle habits. Fortunately, there's an easy way to evaluate your risk. Bayer, the creator of aspirin more than 150 years ago and a leader in science and heart health, offers a quick 2-minute heart health assessment at seeyourrisks.com. This online tool helps you take the first step in understanding your heart condition and recognize early warning signs. Using it will help you learn about general risk factors, get a sense of how your heart age compares to your actual age, and you'll receive general lifestyle guidance to discuss with a doctor, such as diet, exercise, and managing stress. It can also help you recognize common signs that may be associated with changes in heart health, including chest discomfort, pressure or palpitations, or feeling unusually tired or out of breath. Monitoring and tracking things like heart rate and blood pressure at home and taking notes you can review during medical appointments can also support more meaningful conversations with your healthcare provider. Visit seeyourrisks.com to learn more.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Hey, everybody, it is time for... With our robotic guy there, borrowed from the Beastie Boys, Intergalactic Planetary. And it's also time for you to find out what to binge watch this weekend. We tell you some great suggestions. Jackson, what you got?
My pick for this weekend is the new murder mystery on Netflix called His and Hers.
They found a body. Let me take it as a field reporter.
It could be nothing.
I think we both know it's not nothing.
And I don't want the world to know.
Woman's died. But right now, we can't give you any more than that. That's all we got. Thank you.
Detective Harper, is it true you knew her?
Jeez, what was with that reporter?
It's my wife.
I love actor John Bernthal, and he is the big star in this show. And it's great because it kind of goes back and forth, and you're not sure who is behind everything. And it's your side, my side, and the truth, and somewhere in between, you get the real story. It does fall off a little bit at the very end, but then it wraps up with a really weird twist.
I like when Dateline or those TV shows, they make you think it's one person all the way through, and then the last end it's not. So I imagine that's what it kind of is.
Yeah.
John, the actor here, he did not want to be an actor. He was a baseball player, he needed an elective, and he went to an acting class so he can just do an easy A. They go, man, you've got something, and now we know him everywhere. I recognized him or started noticing him on Walking Dead. I think he's a great actor.
Oh, see, I've never seen Walking Dead, but he was in
First
The Accountant.
2 seasons.
The first role I remember him from was The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
Playing his brother.
Yeah. And then he's also the dead brother in The Bear, if you ever watched The Bear on FX.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right, my pick for the weekend is Fallout Season 2. It's on Prime Video because nothing says relaxation like nuclear wasteland.
So I've seen a lot of things.
Many a tear have to fall.
Crazy things. Unnatural things.
In the game.
But good people? No.
That girl I met.
All in the wonderful game.
I would be a good person too if I grew up in some cozy little impenetrable home.
All right, this season just gets better and better. If you're a fan of the video game, you know they wind up in Vegas. Well, same goes for the TV show. And any show that has Walter Goggins in it, I'm watching it. Throw in some Kyle MacLachlan, Justin Theroux, other cameos. You got a video game worth watching as a TV show. This one's it. Fallout Season 2, it's prime right now. You can watch it.
That does it for us. Be good, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, y'all.